Hey there, I am going to do a tree ring today. I've tried it another time and it didn't really work out the way I planned. This is a 12 by 12 inch deep canvas, push pins on the back to keep it raised off the table. And I really don't plan on much going over the edges, but I have a coat of white gesso that I just put on it. It's not dry, but I'm just going to go ahead and pour right over it. The canvas was cheap, and I don't think there was a great coat of gesso on it before, so I added some to it. So I saw someone's post on Facebook that they did a tree ring, and she said she only used black, white, and gold, and so I thought that's what I'm gonna try. Hers was just gorgeous. So you do not want silicone with tree rings pretty much anyway, because you want the rings, and if you do silicone it will cause the cells to pop up, which I'm not looking for. So I'm going to mix everything I have with Floetrol, latex based, and so I already have it's DecoArt lamp black in my bottle, 50-50, 1-to-1 ratio with Floetrol. Then I have white, which is the snow or titanium white. DecoArt, these are Americana paints. So this is 50-50, and both of them have a little water. And the gold I chose is one of the new ones of DecoArt called Extreme Sheen, 24 karat gold. So this is pretty flashy. I'm hoping it'll show up. So that's the gold I'm using. So I've put in this little bathroom cup here maybe about an ounce or so of paint, and so therefore I've got in my squeeze bottle I have Floetrol. I'm going to add the same amount. Sometimes it's faster just to open it up. I ordered these squeeze bottles on Amazon. They have the screw-on top. They're a heavier duty plastic than these squeeze bottles that come from the dollar store. So these are worth it when you purchase them on Amazon. It's a harder plastic and they're more durable, and they seal nice and tight. I also have water in a squeeze bottle. I'm going to mix this gold up, and I probably poured way too much gold for what I need for this size. I may not have enough space in my cup when I add my water to it, because metallics, excuse me, metallics are usually much richer in pigment, so they're going to be thicker. Usually a DecoArt paint out of the bottle like this, you really don't have to add water to it. By the time you add the Floetrol, it's really just about perfect consistency. So, and actually that's pouring off the stick just like warm honey. So that's actually really good with the Floetrol, and I don't even think, I'm just going to add a little bit of water just to make sure that it will flow well with the black and the white, which do have a little water added to them as well. But basically, if I were doing a pour, the consistency is pretty good. It's just sometimes metallics are heavier and they sit. So that's why I'm adding the water. Make sure you always scrape around the sides of your cup. So that's coming off my stick pretty well. So I'm going to leave it the way it is, and we're going to see what we can do here. So I've got my cup. I'm going to move the canvas just for a minute because it is wet still. There's no silicone in any of these. That black is rising up to the top as I pour. So I used that whole thing, and I know I'm going to have way too much paint. I do know that this would probably make some pretty runoff for jewelry. So I'm going to have my piece of photo paper ready. Now I don't know if she stirred hers or not. That's not anything I know, that I typically don't stir mine. The key is to keep it fairly centered and to just very slowly keep pouring in a circle and looking at mine compared to hers. She had so much more white. Here comes that little bit of white peeping through. I'm wondering if I should not have put more white into my whole cup. Okay, so there it is. I just noticed that I kind of poured off center here a little bit, but there's no point in waiting because I don't want cells necessarily, so I'm just going to very slowly rotate it. And even without silicone, you see the cells are popping up. So I'm going to let it pour off the side. So it's like the gold is showing up on one side. I actually found this side more fascinating here without the gold that's so predominant on this side. Basically just making sure my edges are covered. Since it did run off, I'm wanted to make sure it's done. I'm just letting it shift a little bit. And I'm basically I'm pouring off that gold part. So it's interesting. It looks like kind of like I wouldn't say a tree bark, but you know, maybe one that's very old that's turned gray. And I like the texture of it. So hers was just beautiful. So I can't say that I got anywhere close to hers, that's for sure. Also, I saw one that was red that was just beautiful. It had a center where it looked like it was deep. It was just really amazing. So I may have to try a tree ring with just reds and white. It's interesting though. There it is. And then, you know, when it dries, it may look even more different. I'm curious to see. Thank you for subscribing. Please give me a thumbs up. I'll see you next time.